What is up, investors? Jason here. So in this video, we're going to be talking about two stocks that I am interested in buying right now on the dip, and that is Meta, ticker symbol FB. Of course, that used to be Facebook, and the other one is PayPal, ticker symbol PYPL. Now, both these stocks have been beaten up here recently, and we're seeing a really big recent dip with Meta as they just had an earnings miss, and their stock on the previous day had dropped down more than 20% in after hours, and right now we're seeing Meta stock currently down about 26%. So that is a big drop. And we've been seeing PayPal stock drop a lot over these last several months. And I think that PayPal stock is looking really good, really wiped out a lot of those 2020 gains that the stock had when we just saw it just growing really rapidly. And I think that there's a lot to really be offered with PayPal. So we're going to do a little bit of looking over at the entire stock market right now, and then talking a lot about both Facebook or Meta and PayPal. So as we get to it, if you guys don't mind, please do me a huge favor, and that is please be sure to smash, destroy, annihilate, or gently press that like button to help me out with the YouTube algorithm and help spread the videos to more people that might find it interesting, and subscribe if you have not already. And speaking of subscribing, I do talk about tech stocks and cryptocurrencies, but large market cap cryptocurrencies, so nothing very small market cap. So just to let you guys know when you do subscribe. So with that being said, let's get to it. So looking at stocks right now, we just have red everywhere. Pretty much every stock that I do follow is red besides Robinhood right now. We have VTI, Vanguard Total Stock Market, down 2%. We have SPY currently down 2%. We have QQQ down 3.5%. And that's no surprise because we're seeing a lot of tech down currently, which what is driving a lot of it is Meta. And currently Meta is down about 26%, almost 27% right now. Now, to really look at Meta stock right now, it is down significantly, though, when you do take in mind that it really moved a lot during the pandemic. A lot of people being home, hanging out on Facebook and Instagram, all that really helping drive up their stock, with a lot of revenues being grown by selling ads and such during that time. So what we're currently seeing Meta stock really wiping out a lot of that at this moment, because keep in mind that on the previous day that they had released their earnings, their market cap was close to $900 billion. Now Meta's market cap currently is sitting at $656 billion. So a big difference right now from where they were in just a very short period of time. That is a huge crash to see a stock go down that much. And this is a company that really does have a lot to offer, depending on how people feel about this company. They do have a lot of things currently going on. They have a lot going on in the metaverse, which is an area that they can really be capitalizing on, because there's a lot of competition coming into that space with a lot of different companies. We're seeing Apple, Microsoft, Sony, Google, they're all jumping in on the metaverse right now, trying to capitalize it. And Meta has been the company that has really had their foot in the door for a long time, ever since they acquired Oculus back in 2014. So a lot of big things going on in the background. So Meta stock drop here was the biggest single day wipeout of stock market value. And this really shook up things for many other tech stocks, and especially social media companies. So we saw Snap shares drop 23.6% and Pinterest stock lose 10.5%. We saw Amazon stock fall 7.5% and Twitter stock also drop 5.6%. Now, in my opinion, there could be a bit of overreaction with Facebook stock for as low as the stock is dropping. Now, what's really got everybody going crazy here is their Q4 earnings report. Now, Facebook reported Q4 diluted earnings of $3.67, down from $3.88 a year earlier. Analysts polled by Capital IQ expected $3.83. So it wasn't down enough to really make sense of the stock selling off as much as it is. I personally don't think so, and that's why I think it's a good opportunity to jump on it, in my opinion. But that's not financial advice. That's my own opinion, so keep that in mind. Now, as far as their forecast, though, for Q1, the Meta platform's forecast for Q1 sales in the range of $27 billion to $29 billion, missing the $30.27 billion average analysts estimated, compiled by Capital IQ. Now, to look at Meta's analyst forecast for the next 12 months, the high is $460, the median is $350, and the low is $230. So, to even just look at the median, there's a lot of potential here with Meta stock if you're going to even go off of what the analysts are saying. Now, to justify my reason why I would invest in the Meta stock right now for myself is looking at where the stock currently is. I mean, seeing the stock price at $237 right now or $240 right now, there's a lot of potential for a lot to gain here, in my opinion. We're wiping out all that accelerated growth we saw through 2020 and 2021. All that's wiped out right now. We're putting ourselves back to where they were during the time just previously before the pandemic, around the start where the pandemic really shut everything down. So looking at where they were back in January of 2020, they were priced around this price right now. Even saw a high of this price back in July of 2018. So there's a lot of potential here, in my opinion, to see some big gains, especially if we're looking at Meta stock, or back then Facebook stock, from 2013, like June, July, or at that time, all the way up to the previous day before the stock crashed. Just look at the trend. Every time we would see a large decline with Meta stock, we always saw a bounce back. Every time when we saw it have that big drop in March 2020, it bounced back real quick. When we saw the stock drop a lot in December of 2018, it bounced back pretty quick. And I think that we're going to see the same thing happen here, and we might see it happen much faster than we'd ever seen it before in the past. I think that there is a lot of potential here to really see possibly 50% gain on Meta stock, even in the short term. I think that the recovery here might be pretty quick, in my personal opinion, and that's why I'm going to add more shares in Meta stock. Especially, I like a lot of the things that they're doing, really expanding on the metaverse, and I think that they're just going to continue growing. I think the Oculus, what they're doing with that, has a lot to really offer to grow into that part of the business that they're trying to do. A lot of things to open up here, especially as there's so much competition really jumping in on what they're trying to accomplish right now. There's other companies that are looking to compete with the metaverse. So I think this is just going to continue to grow, and it's definitely worth investing into, in my opinion. But I'm not telling you guys to do that. So anyways, now let's just look over at PayPal stock now. So looking at PayPal stock, it is far lower than where it was back in July of 2021, where currently PayPal stock is priced at $125 per share. In July, it was priced at $310 per share is the high that it got to. So this thing has dropped down significantly all through Q4 2021, where there was it just kept dropping lower and lower and lower. So sorry to anybody that was a knife catcher here. Hopefully this knife has been caught, and this could be the end of this stock dropping. But anything can happen. Who knows what's going to happen there? But seeing how much it has dropped over this period of time, I think that this is a good opportunity to jump in my personal opinion, because I'm basing this off of where PayPal stock was back in February of 2020. Before the pandemic, really wiped out a lot of earnings for that time, and then we saw a big recovery all through 2020 and 2021. This is where PayPal stock was back then. It is the same price that it was back in February 2020. It's also at the same price that it had gone to in June, July of 2019. And in my opinion, a lot has changed during this time. There is a lot of potential that it really has to see an easy, possibly, 100% gain on its stock price, possibly even over a short period of time, given that this quick drop was just so fast, that it had happened so fast. I think there's a good opportunity to see a lot of growth with it. Now let's just go into what is currently affecting the stock at this moment. The company reported Q4 adjusted earnings per share of $1.11 per share, up from $1.08 per share during the year-ago quarter, while revenue increased 13% year over year to $6.92 billion. Analysts polled by Capital IQ on average had been looking for adjusted Q1 earnings of $1.12 per share on $6.89 billion in revenue. Though PayPal shares were down after the result, the long-term outlook shows that the company is still in high profit growth verticals, with about 25% growth estimates for 2023 earnings per share. Now, for me, PayPal definitely doesn't make any sort of sense why the stock is as low as it is, given that they have expanded so much with their Venmo application, as that's a payment application that is used by a lot of people. It's one of the top payment applications that are out there, and especially that now Amazon is also looking to adopt that as one of their payment methods for buying goods. So, of course, PayPal used to be really big with eBay, and then it also expanded into a lot of different online stores. And now, finally, many years later, they're expanding into Amazon finally. So I think that's something that has a lot of potential to see. Venmo offered in Amazon is one of the many areas that is going to benefit PayPal in the long run. And there's many other things that I think that PayPal has up their sleeve that can also help, generate even more revenue. And I think that looking at where they're expecting to be in the next couple of years, I think that PayPal is way undervalued in my personal opinion. Now let's just look over what the analysts are saying about PayPal though. Now the analysts forecast over the next 12 months based off of 42 different analysts. The high is $330, the median is $194, and the low is $125. So if we're even just going off the median, there's a lot of potential there to make some good gains. But I'm thinking that we could easily see possibly PayPal stock going to $250 in the short term. That's just my personal opinion, but I think that there's a lot of potential here as we do look at it with between not just PayPal but with Facebook. I think that these two stocks have really been beaten up a lot here very recently, and I think that there's a lot of potential to get some good gains on them at these lower prices. But don't consider any of that as financial advice. These are just my own personal opinions and my own personal views, but I like to hear what you guys think about them. So with that being said, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. New videos coming on my channel all the time. And if you guys like this type of content, please do let me know. Thank you. I'll see you all in the next video coming very soon.